One fateful day in 1908, a boy witnesses a racing legend, Felice Nazzaro, speeding past him on the Circuito de Bologna. At that moment, something ignites within him, a burning desire to take the wheel himself one day. But it seems like nothing more than a far-fetched dream. He has no education, no means, just a humble blacksmith for a father. In a time when opportunities like these belong to the wealthy elite, his chances seem slim. Little does he know, 39 years later, his very name would become synonymous with speed, power, and pure luxury. This is the extraordinary tale of how a poor blacksmith boy defied all odds to invent the legendary Ferrari. Poverty to racing star. Step back in time to the late 19th century in Modena, Italy. It was a stormy day in 1898 when little Enzo came into the world. Growing up in relative poverty, Enzo's early life had its share of hardships, but also moments of joy. He developed a deep passion for mechanics, spending his days in his father's workshop, fixing cars, and attending school in exchange for his assistance. His father even taught him how to drive, a skill that came naturally to Enzo. As the years passed, his love for cars grew stronger. Despite lacking formal education and poverty, Enzo and his family did their best to make ends meet with the blacksmith and car repair garage. However, tragedy struck the world when World War I erupted in Europe. Misfortune seemed to follow Enzo, as before his father and older brother could be drafted into the war, they succumbed to the deadly Spanish flu outbreak in 1916. This devastating loss caused the family business to collapse. Enzo enlisted as a military blacksmith. In 1918, he too fell victim to the pandemic. Although he survived, his health remained fragile, leading to his discharge from the military. Without his family's business, money, or formal education, Enzo faced an uncertain future. Desperate for work, he relocated to the city and applied for numerous jobs that could make use of his passion and knowledge of cars. Companies like Fiat rejected him, dampening his spirits. However, fortune smiled upon Enzo when he secured a position as a test driver at Costruzioni Meccaniche Nazionali, CMN, a company specializing in transforming trucks into passenger cars. At CMN, Enzo's exceptional skills and abilities quickly caught the attention of others, and he was soon promoted from a test driver to a race car driver, representing the company in various competitions. His racing journey began in 1919 at the Parma Poggio de Bercito hill climb race, where he astonished many by finishing fourth. Although he faced setbacks in subsequent races due to fuel leaks and other issues, Enzo's ambition remained undeterred. Seeking greater challenges, Enzo left CMN and joined Alfa Romeo, the premier Italian race car company of the time. Working with Alfa Romeo brought both happiness and bitterness to Enzo's life. As a passionate young man, he worked tirelessly to pursue his dreams. His dedication paid off in 1923 when he emerged victorious in the first Grand Prix at the challenging circuit del Savio in Ravenna, one of Italy's most competitive tracks. Unwilling to rest on his laurels, Enzo continued his winning streak, triumphing race after race. Making of Scuderia Ferrari. By 1924, Enzo Ferrari had already established a reputation on the racing track. However, the thrill of success couldn't erase the sad reality he faced. Racing drivers risked their lives at every event, and that year, two talented competitors, whom Enzo had once raced against, tragically lost their lives behind the wheel. Torn by the news of his rival's demise, Enzo continued to race, but the shadows in his heart remained. After a few years of racing half-heartedly, some believed that the birth of his first son made Enzo realize the importance of living for someone else. Others speculated that painful memories hindered his racing career. Regardless, by age 34, Enzo Ferrari had already participated in 41 Grand Prix races, winning a remarkable 11. It was an extraordinary achievement that few could claim in their lifetimes. Even after retiring as a race car driver, Enzo couldn't bring himself to leave the industry completely. Instead, he devoted his efforts to helping Alfa Romeo manage the car and factory development. Unconventional and forward-thinking, Ferrari proposed numerous changes to improve cars and racing as a whole. He took the initiative to assemble the first race team at Alfa Romeo, comprised of talented racers of the time. In 1929, Alfa Romeo's first race team, Scuderia Ferrari, was born. Enzo's fame attracted attention from various sponsors, but one held particular significance in shaping the Ferrari brand. Countess Baracca, the mother of Francesco Baracca, a skilled fighter pilot who lost his life in the war, approached Enzo. Impressed by Enzo's racing skills, the Countess gifted him her late son's fighter jet emblem. Enzo used this prancing horse emblem to design Scuderia Ferrari's logo, incorporating Modena's yellow, the color of his birthplace, as the background of the shield. The first Ferrari logo was created, swiftly replacing the Alfa Romeo logo on Scuderia Ferrari cars. The Countess's gift held immense importance, especially considering that Ferrari wasn't the only company utilizing the Baracca emblem as its logo. Porsche also shared it. Nevertheless, Ferrari gained recognition as a timeless legend. However, the team faced an unprecedented threat when their sponsor, Alfa Romeo, faced financial difficulties and withdrew their support in 1933. The team struggled to prove its worth to other sponsors without proper backing. Eventually, they achieved a notable but challenging victory against the dominant German teams in 1935, thanks to the technical superiority of their cars. Despite their contribution, the team disbanded in 1937. Enzo returned to work for Alfa Romeo as they attempted to revive a race team under a similar name. Enzo took charge as the team's manager, but Alfa course didn't last long and failed to achieve significant success. Conflicts between Enzo and the managing director of Alfa Romeo intensified. Enzo Ferrari was a man of unwavering determination and belief. He refused to back down, leading to Alfa Romeo offering him a generous severance package, but forcing him into a 4-year non-compete agreement, prohibiting him from racing or designing race cars under his name. Without other options, Enzo reluctantly agreed. However, if Alfa Romeo believed the prancing horse would yield to their demise, they were in for a surprise. Rise of Ferrari. Enzo seized the opportunity and utilized a loophole in his non-compete contract to establish his own company, the Auto Aviani Construzioni factory. The factory produced car parts, while Enzo designed cars for other drivers to compete in races. Despite the legal limitations, Enzo managed to thrive and prosper. However, in 1939, disaster struck as World War II erupted with the invasion of Poland by the Third Reich. Europe, including Italy, was engulfed in chaos. Enzo couldn't escape the effects of the war, but instead of being drafted into the military, his factory was forced to switch production to war supplies. Resourceful as ever, Enzo forged connections with political figures to secure financial benefits. He even joined the Fascist Party, attending their events in uniform to maintain his company's stability and secure profitable government contracts. As the war progressed, his main factory was bombed by the Allies, leading Enzo to relocate from Modena to Maranello. Desperate times forced him to navigate the complexities of the war by playing both sides, publicly aligning with the fascist government while secretly appealing to the Parisian freedom fighters. Despite death threats and a bounty on his head, Enzo remained undeterred, evading multiple attempts on his life. He even reportedly paid off the person who had put a price on his head. While many businesses suffered during the war, Ferrari emerged victorious. By 1946, Enzo's factory was operational again, and a year later, he was manufacturing Ferrari cars under his own name. This marked the beginning of Ferrari's ascendance. Enzo pitted his cars against Alfa Romeos on the racetrack, achieving his first major victory in 1949. From there, Ferrari's success continued to soar, accumulating one triumph after another. Enzo established new records, such as participation in the Drivers' World Championship, a legacy that still endures. Winning the inaugural World Grand Prix Championship was a historic milestone, igniting excitement for Ferrari's future endeavors. However, the rapid development of the racetrack came at a price. The costs of research and engineering to maintain Ferrari's superior race cars strained the company's finances. After careful consideration, Enzo decided to sell sports cars to the public, not just for racing, as a means to overcome financial difficulties. The demand for Ferrari sports cars remained unwavering, as each new victory reinforced their reputation as the best in the industry. Ferrari solidified its rise to power with every triumph of the prancing horse, leaving an indelible mark on automotive history. Controversies, and the Great Walkout. Enzo's pursuit for more speed led to a devastating accident in 1957. A tire explosion claimed lives and resulted in manslaughter charges. However, after a lengthy trial, the case was dismissed in 1961, allowing Enzo to refocus on racing. Enzo supported a new motorsports publication and was featured in magazines during his golden age from the 1950s to the 1960s. However, his glory faded over time, and in 1962 his personality became a hindrance during a period of peace and prosperity. One notable incident was the Great Walkout. Enzo fired 9 important employees who opposed his decision to make his wife a manager. These employees formed their own company to challenge Ferrari on the racetrack. Despite being a setback, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Enzo seized the opportunity to recruit and promote new talent, and they proved to be just as capable. This new generation of talent created some of Ferrari's greatest masterpieces after the walkouts. Disputes in the industry. Enzo Ferrari, the legendary racing pioneer, faced both triumph and controversy. His relentless pursuit of greatness pushed his drivers to the limits, but rumors spread like wildfire, blaming him for their unfortunate deaths. Enzo's Spartan-like training methods and his philosophy of breaking barriers created a storm of speculation. As the whispers grew louder, his reputation took a hit, and even industry giants like Henry Ford II and Ferruccio Lamborghini became his adversaries, seeking to outshine him. Meanwhile, Ferrari's financial woes worsened, forcing Enzo to seek business partnerships. However, his insistence on retaining full control over racing development shattered potential deals, including a near miss with Henry Ford. The storm was brewing, threatening everything Enzo had built. Legacy of Enzo Ferrari. Against all odds, Enzo Ferrari found himself back at Fiat, the same company that had once rejected him. In a twist of fate, Fiat now eagerly agreed to his terms. By 1965, Fiat and Ferrari became joint shareholders, with Enzo retaining a greater stake. With the financial burden lifted, Enzo immersed himself in what he loved most, racing. However, in 1969, he made a monumental decision, selling more shares to Fiat until both companies held an equal 50%. The hefty sum he received allowed him to embark on a secret car project in 1971, a line of affordable sports cars named Dino, a tribute to his late son. Enzo's legacy continued through his second son, born to his mistress, but was legitimized after his wife's passing. He still works at Ferrari, holding 10% of the stock. Enzo dedicated his final years to managing the racing team, never letting go of his passion. Although he couldn't reclaim his former glory, he had the honor of celebrating Ferrari's 40th anniversary before passing away at the remarkable age of 90 in 1980. Enzo Ferrari's unwavering dedication and obsession left an indelible mark on his legacy. Could it have been any more perfect?